Hey man, how you doing? I just stopped by to try to cheer you up before it was time to go. I got you a cheeseburger. It's medium rare, it's got ketchup, salt, pepper, and it's on a toasted English muffin. You should really like it. I eat this shit all the time. I'll leave it right there on the floor as your last meal because the warden and the chaplain, they'll be coming in to get you in a few minutes, so you better eat it fairly soon, man. Oh, don't worry about me. I got myself a cheeseburger too. Oh, hey man, I can tell you're not in really the mood to talk right now. So I guess I might as well do a little chit chat. Hey, man, did I ever tell you how I slaved my way through night school at a community college for 6 years so that I could get myself a law certificate to become a public defender? No, I didn't. Well, that was 7 years ago now. And you were my very first assignment. But I remember the first time I read through your file, I knew right away it was going to be an open and shut case here, like these newspaper clippings. Here it is. Cyrus Washington, arrested yesterday for the murder of his wife, Layla Washington, and the 7-year-old daughter, Cicerus. Police reports say that the suspect allegedly, I like the way they always put that word in there, allegedly attacked his wife with a kitchen knife, slicing her wide open so that her insides went spilling out all over the bedroom floor. Police say that the suspect allegedly did the same thing to the 7-year-old daughter. So like I say, when I read these newspaper accounts and the police reports, I knew right away you were guilty of sin with no hope of acquittal or appeal or stay of execution. But I thought, oh, what the hell? I can't tell you that. So I pretended. Hey man, we had a good shot at pleading insanity if I could show what a cracked and crazy lunatic you were. But I remember, you weren't so sure you wanted me to represent you because the first time we met, you wouldn't look me in the eyes. You just kept staring at this threadbare sport jacket and these shabby khaki slacks, and you thought, oh man, this smart guy must be such a cheap sleaze that he couldn't buy himself a decent suit of clothes. Isn't that what you were thinking? I said, isn't that what you were thinking? Oh, come on, man. I don't like it when I don't know what someone's thinking. So anyway, I represented you at your trial, and I did a good job of showing how cracked and crazy you are, but we lost the case, and they gave you the death sentence. And that was when I started writing all these briefs and appeals for you. Here. Right here. Right, this one. To the district court, pleading for reversal based on a psychiatrist's report that you were too psychotic to understand the charges being made against you. And that was the truth, because you're really whacked out, man. And this one to the state Supreme Court, asking for a mistrial based on all the lousy adverse publicity that appeared in all the local newspapers. And they were really talking shit about you. They were really digging you on the TV, that's for sure. And this one to the governor, asking for a full pardon based on your mild behavior before you became a homicidal maniac. And that's the truth. You did your job. You showed up for work most of the time. You paid the rent and that shit like that. And this one to the president, asking for executive clemency based on the mental anguish that you've been suffering since you cut your wife wide open. I'm sure you've been suffering a lot while you've been sitting in this jail cell. And this one to the United States Supreme Court, stating that you are a poor black man who lived a hardship life, and asking them to grant whatever affirmative action they may deem to be appropriate. And hey man, it wasn't my fault all these appeals were denied. At least you can see that I have been working my ass off on your behalf. I even started a long and legal argument on how the death penalty is in itself is cruel and unusual punishment. Like how they try to fry your ass off in an electric chair, but sometimes there's a short circuit, so your hair catches on fire, and your two eyeballs, they become like a couple of hard-boiled eggs. Or how they try to make you cough your lungs out in the gas chamber, but sometimes they don't mix the shit right, so you start to vomit a purple pus and custard from your guts. How they try to shoot you through the heart with a firing squad, but sometimes the guys are like nervous and shaky and your body gets torn to shreds by bullets. Or how they try to break your neck with a rope noose on the gallows, but sometimes they tie that knot too tight so that when they drop you down the trap, your head comes right off. But of course today, they just give you a lethal injection. So all you feel is a quick pinprick from a hypodermic needle, and it's all over in a few seconds as you go drifting off to being stone cold dead. But oh well, that's the way it's supposed to happen anyway. I've been reading in the news that they've been having a little bit of difficulty, but I'm sure they fixed that since then. Hey man, you're not eating your cheeseburger. Oh man, this is good shit. Listen, if you don't want it, you don't have to have it. But it's a shame to let it go to waste. So anyway, after 7 years of my filing all these appeals and stays of execution, here we are in death row. And I figured out what the hell. I might as well bring you a cheeseburger. Oh, and also, I do have a few questions I'd like to ask you. Because like I say, in a few minutes you'll be dead, so who the hell cares anymore, right? I said right? Well, anyway, here's a question that's been on my mind because you are, you're 41 years old now, and that means that 7 years ago you were 34 when you killed your wife. And the two of you had been married for 8 years, right? And if you two of you had sex twice a week, that means, hold on a second. It's 2 times 52, or 104 sex acts a year for 8 years. For a total of 832 sex acts each. That means the two of you each had 832 orgasms for a total of 1,664 orgasms together. Assuming, of course, that your wife was not faking her orgasms. So anyway, what this is all leading up to is that after the two of you had so many terrific orgasms together, how come one night you just pick up a kitchen knife and slice the poor woman wide open so that her insides go spilling out all over the bedroom floor? I mean, it just doesn't make any kind of sense. I mean, every time you went to bed with your wife, maybe you began thinking about that kitchen knife and how you like to slice her wide open with it, because maybe that was something that really turned you on and made you hard as you began to bang away at her ass while you were thinking about holding her heart in your hand. And maybe you thought about spilling all these inner organs out all over the bedroom floor so you can walk around on them barefoot and feel them squishing in between your toes, because maybe that was something that made you come every time you thought about it, right? I said right? You'd rather not comment on any of this, would you? That's okay, because in a few minutes it'll all be a moot question. A moot question. That's a lawyer's way of saying nobody gives a flying fuck about it. So anyway. Another question I have to ask you is whether or not you believe in any afterlife. What I mean is, do you think you go somewhere else when you die? Like what they call a transmigration of souls. And if you do believe in something like that, do you think you see your wife again? And when you see her again, do you think she'll be the way she was when you first saw her, with those large dark eyes and those thick, full lips and that sweet, peaceful face? Or do you think she'll be the way she was when you last saw her, with her body slit wide open and her insides spilled out all over the bedroom floor? Or maybe you don't believe in the afterlife because maybe you think it's nothing but like a big black hole in space where even the light can't leak out of the colossal emptiness. Is that what you think of the afterlife? Well, whatever you believe in the afterlife, in a few minutes you'll know all about it. Hey man, you're not eating your cheeseburger. Oh, listen, if you don't want it, I'll just have it later. So man, hey, It's been nice talking to you. I really enjoyed it. Take it. It's gonna say nothing. Okay, so all right. Take it easy. Oh my gosh. Hey man, I almost left, and I almost forgot to ask you the most important question of all. Now listen, man. If you really did murder your wife in a wild moment of passion and madness, then what was it that set you off on that instant of insanity? Because it must have been something very weird and upsetting to set you off, am I right? Because maybe you found out something strange was going on. Like, maybe you found out someone else was humping your wife behind your back. Maybe the thought that someone else might be humping your wife made you so fruitcake lunatic that you just grabbed at that kitchen knife and sliced the poor woman wide open so that her insides went spilling out all over the bedroom floor. Was that the way it was? Because if that's the way it was, then no jury on earth would have convicted you. Amen. Amen. Here's another question I have to ask you. Did you ever find out who it was that was humping your wife behind your back? No. You never had a clue? And to this day, you still don't know? I guess that sort of gnaws away like a sharp pain at the back of your brain cave now, doesn't it? I wonder who could have done such a sneaky and sleazy thing to you. Hey man, listen. Suppose I told you it was me. Oh, no, that's right. Suppose I told you it was I who was secretly humping your wife behind your back. What's the matter? Don't you think I'm man enough to go balling your wife? Well, I am. Of course, it all happened 7 years ago when I graduated from that shitty night school, and all I had was this seedy law certificate they had just given me. And I went out into the park and I began wandering around what would become of me. I was just afraid it was a fuck up. And then I saw your wife and your daughter, and they were both sitting on the grass, and they were laughing, and they were loving each other. I remember I was wearing this same threadbare sport jacket and these shabby khaki slacks, and I stood there in front of them and I introduced myself. And then I sat down beside him on the grass and I started talking about how I just graduated from this shitty night school and I was afraid it was a fuck up because I didn't know what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And as I kept talking, I realized that your wife was really listening to me with those large dark eyes and those thick full lips and that sweet peaceful face. And I felt as if her soul was really listening to what my soul had to say. So after a while, we all got up off the grass and we went walking out of the park back toward your place. And when we got there, your wife left your kid off with the next door neighbor. And we went on into your place. And we took off each other's clothes. And we climbed on into your bed. And when we were laying there, naked and next to each other, was when your wife, she let me kiss her thick, full lips and look at that long, beautiful neck and suck on her two upright nipples before I mounted her and slid my stiff prick into her soft velvet honey pot. And I began to bang her ass off right there in the middle of your bed. And when it was all over, we both lay there. And she started talking about how she never done this kind of thing before because she never fucked anyone else but you. But now she knew she had to do something because she was beginning to sense that you were becoming this homicidal maniac who had this weird gleam in both of his eyes. And I didn't believe anything she had to say until a few weeks later when I read in the newspaper about how you sliced the poor woman wide open and spread her inner organs out all over the bedroom floor. And when I read that in the newspaper, that was when I suddenly knew what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Because that's when I got myself appointed public defender for your case. And that made it real easy for me to make a botch of the trial and screw up all the appeals and stays execution the way I've been doing for the last 7 years. And now here we are on your death cell, and all the appeals and all the stays of execution have finally run out. In a few minutes, they'll be coming to walk you down the hall to the execution chamber where they will strap you to a table and give you a lethal injection from a hypodermic needle. In a few minutes, it'll all be over for you. But at least I know, in those few minutes, you'll be thinking about these things I've just been telling you. You'll be thinking about how I was fucking your wife in your own bed. Isn't that what you'll be thinking? And when you feel that pinprick of the needle in your arm, I'll be the last thing you're thinking of. Hey, man, it's some fun, huh? Well, I guess I better scram my ass on out of here because I can hear the water and the chaplain coming down to get you. So I guess I'll be on my way. In a few minutes, you'll be on your way also. Hey, man, some fun, huh? Take it easy. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry. I just can't leave you like this. Oh, you know that story I told you about your wife? It's all bullshit. I never met your wife. I just had 7 years to make it up. I was just fucking with you. Hey, man, I gotta tell you, I just love being a public defender. Have a nice day.